My name's Rich Bewley with Proforma, and today I want to show you a few tools that'll help you identify where are your prospects going for information. How do they research and compare your product or service against somebody else's? What's most important to them? How do you figure that out? How do you figure out where those prospects are going, and how do you get in front of them? And today I want to help you figure all those questions out. We get this question very often, so I thought I'd put together a quick video to help you see a couple free tools that can help you gather some of that data. So real quick, before we get into the actual tools, a couple pieces of information as it relates to stats that directly speak to how important it is to attract your customers rather than hunting them and interrupting them. So a couple just to give to you as justifiers as it relates to focusing your time on attracting customers and prospects rather than hunting them. 72% of companies with less than 50 opportunities fail to meet their quota. 50% of all prospects that land on their website or on your website are not a good fit. 80% of sales require 5 follow-ups or more. And that doesn't take into account the average of 8 cold call attempts before that first touch. And then it takes 18 or more dials to connect with a prospect. So, those numbers are absolutely huge. It could just from a daily audit of what tasks, what accomplishments, how much time, what did you earn for the company, or as a salesperson, what did you earn? You're working extremely hard for results that could be beneficial. They absolutely could be positive. But if you're focusing on attracting customers, you're focusing all of your time on customers that are qualified and looking for help from you. So flipping over to the positive side, 71% of buyers start their research by going online and going to a search engine. Same buyers will search 12 times before they go to any website to learn more. And my favorite I'll share with you, 95% of customers choose the solution providers that offer the most relevant content at every stage of the journey. So let's take a look at the journey for a second, the buyer journey inbound sales process. And this is very important as we go into the tools here in 1 second to talk about what does that look like. Well, what I want to focus on here, this is the HubSpot inbound sales process as well as the buyer journey described. So you've got the awareness stage here. This question for a customer is simple. Do I have a problem? Do I have an opportunity? And how do I know if I should validate it or not? Then once they've understood that problem is important to them or that opportunity is important to them, the next step is consideration. What are my potential options? So for that, it would be, what are some ways in which I can solve my problem or acquire that opportunity? What does that look like? And then the decision is, all right, I've narrowed this down to 2 or 3 opportunities or approaches. Which one's best for me? So here we go. We're getting into how do we identify and map out how to get in front of customers. My first example, my first suggestion that I'd want to share with you is absolutely as often as possible, refer to your customer, refer to your current customer, who they are, ask them questions, think about your sales process, think about what you've done in the past when you've acquired customers, what was most important to them, how did they evaluate you, how do they compare you against competition, how did they describe their problems and their opportunities. How did they look for information? Ask yourself and ask the customer all those questions in a QBA, for instance, a quarterly business review. Ask them specifically, what was most important to them? Why did they choose you? Who else was in the running? Who else was impactful in that decision from a buyer standpoint? You want to know as much as you can about how they make decisions, what their goals and objectives are, what factors played the greatest role, so that you know where to look and start your search. With that said, let's assume you don't have those capabilities, or you're looking for additional tools to help you identify where that prospect or customer buyer journey is, where they research, how they get information. So let's suppose, for this example, that you are a commercial transport insurance provider or a broker. So because that's the example, I looked at 3 competitors of this made up company that I have right now, and I want to see what they're doing. So one of the first programs I would use and recommend to you is SpyFu. And inside SpyFu, you can go in. There's a ton of data here that we don't have enough time to go through today. But what I'm going to draw your attention to are the top keywords that they're focusing and competing on. So for here, you've got owner-operators insurance. They're rank 1, and they're getting 65 visitors per month coming to them with that specific search, as well as insurance commercial truck, insurance trucks, insurance for owner-operators, trucking insurance companies. Those are the examples that we have for this first commercial truck insurance company. So then we'll look at the second one. They've got a little more keyword. For them, it's trucker insurance, insurance commercial truck, insurance trucking. These are all Google-related searches and what type of traffic that they're seeing. So we used a third as well, and this third competitor has a ton of traffic, far more than the other two. And for these, they're not as focused on commercial trucks, so we can't get too much out of that. But to give you another example, and you can always pause this and look at this, this is 3 different examples of commercial truck insurance companies that are competing after specific keywords. So we're looking at those keywords if there are competitors. And then what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this example, owner operators insurance at 64 visits per month that searches on Google. And so then what I did is I put that search into Google. And this is the second tip for you. So you're trying to figure out where are your prospects going. We found that there were keywords in SpyFu that our competitors were using. The next thing we want to do is search for it in Google and then look at what are the other searches that Google considers relevant. So very similar to what this is called owner-operator insurance, they have owner-operator insurance 101, insurance requirements, health insurance, owner truck. Each of these will bring up a whole new set of competitors and a whole new set of content that you can look at and identify what type of content you want to generate that will compete with what you're looking at here. So in this case, here's your PPC, your pay-per-click, and your advertising. Then you get into this. Here are the first what we call organic search results in your SERP. And here you've got these. You can look at each one of these different opportunities. You click through and you can see what did they offer, what did you like, what didn't you like about the content, where could be more valuable to your customer, and then build that content, whether it's through blogs, web pages, landing pages. There's a lot that you can do. So using Google to understand how else the popular searches are entered into Google helps you understand additional ways that you can be competitive on content. I want to show you another tool that's free to you, and this is SEM Rush. And what's neat about SEM Rush, you can look at the search traffic, so specific keywords, owner operator truck insurance, and then it'll show you how competitive it is. 0 is super easy, 100 is very, very hard. So right here, it's under 50, which means you can be very competitive with the right SEO strategy, search engine optimization strategy, the right content, the right overall strategy. You can absolutely compete and build performing content that helps you close more visitors into leads with these specific searches. So this shows you right here how competitive it is. This shows you how saturated it is with competitors. Here's how many people are searching that specific inquiry per month, 12,100,000. Here's the search frequency, if you will. So it's very similar to Google Trends. So basically, you're getting all the data you'd want from what is the search that's top performing, how competitive is it, how often is it searched per month, and does it have any spikes? And that helps you determine what content do I want to focus on and compete with. I then wanted to show you another tool that you can get for free called Quora. You just sign up, and then when you look for specific questions, you get answers. And I'm going to use this one actually instead, owner-operator insurance. Here's a whole bunch of content. Now, this is showing you what are your customers asking? What are your prospects asking? What are their questions? And what is conversation like? This is one of the ways for you to get to see what your customers are saying, what they're asking, and how to get involved and be able to help them and be an influencer or a authority in the space. So this this platform is called Quora. You can also use Twitter. Twitter is another way to find out what your customers are thinking or finding out more about what that conversation looks like with your prospects and customers. So under Twitter, you go owner operator insurance, and you can see quickly all the types of conversations, questions, engagement related to owner operator insurance. So it's there's another tool for you. Another free one for you. And I know I'm throwing a lot at you, but if you want to see what are the top performing content pieces as it relates to that specific search, you can see with BuzzSumo, here's 81 engagements, 33 engagements, which could be shares, could be likes, could be forwards. There's all different types of engagement factors, but total engagements at 82 shows you that this right here, the one insurance hack every owner operator needs, makes sense that would be popular. And so what you would do is click into this and look at what was that content like and how can you be better so that you can have better engagement. And then lastly, I wanted you to see LinkedIn. LinkedIn has groups, they have different profiles, and there's many ways to see what is going on in the conversation as well here with LinkedIn. And it just, again, helps you focus on specific customers, specific prospects. You can leverage video. There's so much that you can do on LinkedIn. But again, just looking and searching for groups, for instance, and posts, there's just so many things you can do here, very similar to Twitter. So I hope you found this to be helpful. The main point that we wanted to make and absolutely want to make is that you with free tools can understand what competitors are doing and how to identify what content will be most impactful to help you drive people to your website. And in previous videos and future videos, we'll talk more about what to do with that traffic. But in the meantime, if you have any questions about what I'm sharing or would like specific ideas related to you and your business, don't hesitate to let me know and look forward to talking with you soon. Thanks.